I'm doing another video again to update the channel. Someday, Lord willing, inshallah, I will put all these videos together into one real long one. Not to make a movie to publish, other than just to keep the video a long video that record, the great evil that happened for the future. May help prevent this happening to others, and it may help people be accountable. My daughter and people are trying to interfere with my communication with my daughters in the Philippines, but I'm sure that she remembers the people who did things to her as well. But my concern is people trying to interfere, especially foreigners trying to interfere in our relationship, interfere in our family. And, I have a great distrust of foreigners who interfere in Filipino families, because so many Filipino are targeted and are trafficked, and they're led to think that they're loved by a foreigner when they're not. They just use them, and some even make videos of them. And that being said, just updating in this video that our snap, we did receive it. There's some kind of glitch, no surprise. We didn't know until Monday morning. No surprise. But because when I called, there was nothing there for next month. I called Friday. I used the card Friday. This is last week. Used the card Friday around 6 o'clock. There's nothing there. Only $1. And I called there and I checked online. Nothing. You'll get benefits June 9th. So that being said, anyway, they didn't call me and update me, but at least they kept half of their word. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's the important thing, but still, it doesn't mean that I would consider that my team are people of honor. That's something you have to earn. But at least they paid attention to the important things. Still, it's I don't know. In my book, it's good, but still, it's not 150%. But at least it's something. So I have to give them credit for that. I have to always reward and notice good behavior and people trying to be people of honor. And so anyway, we did, but still, we have a disagreement over the amount we were awarded. And I probably will appeal it, but it's a kangaroo court, anybody that knows it, because people at MDH now refuse to meet people in person. And, every time I've scheduled an in-person hearing, they find a reason to cancel it. And we move back to the phones. As if nobody who's an administrative law judge has Zoom. Come on. I've known more than a handful of pre-law and lawyers in my time, and even a couple of judges. Come on. Everybody uses Zoom, especially now, because you can pack dockets and things get done faster. Enjoying yourself? So, especially an administrative law judge. Come on. This is a kangaroo court, and I've found in my time social workers pretending to be ADLs or ADJs. I'm not stupid. So, at least in Saginaw, when you make your appeal, this is notice for you people out there. If you've had an appeal and you were denied, I would suggest, now there's time frames for these, but then again, there's always petitions. I don't support instigation, but I will support people who deserve justice. And when your case was, in a kangaroo court, and your verdict was hogtied in favor of the state, without, no matter how much you did, I presented 80 pages, actually 86 pages of evidence. I believe that's what she said. They had 13. but they won. How in the hell is that even possible? Excuse my language. How in the heck is that even possible? And she didn't even stipulate to my 86 pages. Matter of fact, in her summary, she didn't even mention it. Kangaroo court. And the way that she wrote it, it didn't sound like an opinion written by a judge that I've ever read. So, again, I would encourage you to appeal it or go higher. If your time for appeal has ended, go higher. These people need to be held responsible. Being a social worker is a privilege. You get to go home, feeling good every day because you did something to change somebody's life. And predators who want to weaponize that kind of position, they deserve the worst. Just like Jesus said, the millstone around the neck and throw them in the ocean. That's the worst kind of end. He didn't say crucify. He didn't say stone him. He didn't say kick him outside the city. He said put a millstone around their neck, which is about the size of, at that time, about anywhere from half to full size Volkswagen. Put it around their neck and throw them into the ocean. So that says a lot. And somebody wants to weaponize social work so they can hurt people, they don't deserve any grace. They're not going to get it from heaven as long as they're wicked. You can't be saved or be born of the Spirit or be fully confessed and restored to grace while you're committing evil, because our God is also a God of justice and a God of law. And so anyway, that being said, at least they did try to fix things and restore things. But I honestly believe we were shorted, which we've been shorted all along. I always question, why is our budget say this? Oh, we have to put that. Well, my electricity isn't $35. Isn't the standard in Michigan, the maximum standard, $500? I pay for 10 years anywhere. I mean, we've greatly reduced. Sometimes we have neighbors that jack up their heat. That happened at Countryway and where we are now. We've had multiple neighbors that like to jack up the heat so it gets really hot if we're next to them or we're on top of them. So that costs me a lot of money. At Countryway, over the course of 2 years, cost me around, I think it was around $260 because I had to up our air conditioning because they were always turning on their heat. And the people that assaulted me found a way to turn on their heat and blow it through their floorboards so it came into our place. Kid you not. Sometimes I would see plumes of dust and I would feel their heat coming through the floor. I don't know how they managed to get it through the subfloor. Apparently there's some gaps through there. And the place we are now, they would just jack up the heat all the time. So that costs us significant loss, but we try to keep, when we're able to, our budget is, I pay no more than 140, 150 a month. And if I want to, and we really, really try, and the weather accommodates, I can have a $90 electric bill. It's all about restraint and discipline and planning. But anyway, so that being said, I believe we've been shorted a lot the past 10 years. And, all of the social workers who have victimized us, they all know each other. That's the interesting thing. And some of them aren't even social workers. That's the other interesting thing. But they claim they are. So that being said, at least, these people, this new team tried, and we did, receive something. So we have to give them credit for that. that being said, I just wanted to update the record and encourage people, don't let yourselves experience the same fate that we are. Find your resources, and um, if people don't listen to you, if you have create a wider net of support and create some advocates, that way you have people who will fight for you, and you're not in a situation where we are imprisoned for so long, financially and transportation wise. Um, putting us in a bad situation. We can't move, and we have a lot of destruction and damage to our car, or we have a lot of financial loss because somebody finds attorneys that like to litigate people who are victims of identity theft, especially veterans. Um, so that being said, learn from our experience so you don't suffer what we have to suffer what we have.